Hey everybody, welcome back to Over Here We Craft for Money. I'm DJ, and in this video we are talking about crafting supplies that you are going to need for a lot of the crafts and products that you're going to want to make using your Cricut cutter machine. And those projects will cause you to have to probably go out and buy some supplies that you don't already have to get them done. But there are some pretty basic supplies that you are going to need for the most part, no matter what it is that you're thinking about making. So I'm going to run through and show you, based on what I have here in the house, things that I use pretty much on the daily as I go about crafting and creating items for my small business. First and foremost, this is in no particular order. Let me just be clear. I just went through the room and started grabbing things and pulling them over here closer so I wouldn't have to get up and go get them. So first thing you're going to need is a good pair of scissors. I have multiple. Actually, I have another 2 pairs hanging over there on my pegboard. If you're going to be making projects using your Cricut machine, you're going to need a variety of cutting mats. There is this one, which is the standard grip. There's a light grip. There's a fabric grip. There's a strong grip. There's a 12 by 12. There's a 12 by 24. You're going to need some cutting mats, unless you decide that you are going to get the smart version or smart materials for, I think it's the Air Explorer 4. Again, I have a 2. If you're new to the channel, I have a 2. And I don't use the smart cutting materials. I use vinyl on rolls. Another standard set of tools that you're going to need is you are going to need weeding tools. If you're going to be messing with vinyl, paper, the glitter, puff, it doesn't matter. You're going to need a variety of weeding tools. I have this one that's a straight one, and I have one that has the little pinchers on it. And then this came in the Cricut set. And I think I got about 2 more around here somewhere. But these are the ones that I grabbed the most, and that's why they were easily accessible and I was able to locate them. You're definitely going to need a couple of scrapers. This is one of the flat ones that you can use to scrape something up off the mat. Then this is a scraper tool that you can also use as a brayer. And what we refer to a brayer is when you have vinyl on the mat, you want to press it down like this so that the paper doesn't come up or the vinyl doesn't come up. So you're definitely going to need scrapers and brayers. That is standard. Once you cut the materials, and depending on what we're using, you're definitely going to want to make sure that you have a hot glue gun in your supply kit. I happen to be in love with this one. This is my Bleds cordless hot glue gun. I absolutely love this. It comes with its own little stand. It actually came with a series of hot glue sticks, clear as well as colored. Matter of fact, I didn't start out with this one, but they sent it to me and asked me to review it. And honestly, I love it. Comes in a cute little case with a cute little handle. So I already have it all together. You might want to embellish coffee mugs after we've put the vinyl on them, and your cordless hot glue gun is going to be something you use. You might want to pick yourself up a press pad. This is actually the Cricut brand, though I think I ordered some sleeve ones from Temu. This is what you want to insert inside of materials. Sometimes when you're pressing, you put this in between the materials so that when you close the heat press, you get an even press. So yes, you will need a pressed pillow. And trust me, I tried with alternative options and it did not work. You will need a cutter. This is my baby. She's old and she is beat up. I've even had to put some tape right here. But we don't waste money over here on Over Here We Craft for Money, honey. We trying to keep more money in-house than we are sending out. And over the year 2, maybe 3 that I've had it, I can change out the blades. These pop out and you just pop the new blades back on and it cuts just fine. Y'all know I love this. I use this along with a rotary cutter. I wouldn't call that the rotary cutter, I wouldn't call that a standard tool that you are going to need when you're crafting, but a cutter will help you cut the material that you use, sometimes depending on the type of fabric it is. You definitely will be cutting paper. You definitely will be cutting down vinyl. So a paper cutter is a standard crafting tool. I think everybody should have a trusty lint roller. Yep, just a regular old lint roller. but those shirts and apparel items that we press have lint and can't see until you brush the lint roller across it. And once you do that, it becomes dirty. Now, I don't have a recommended one that I use. I will grab them from the Dollar Tree, Walmart, Home Depot if I'm in there and I know I'm running low. I go through a lot of these because not only do I press vinyl, but I also do sublimation on pillows, and that's a big seller for me. And you definitely want to make sure you lint roll when you're doing sublimation, because if you don't, it will pick up blue marks on your items. And when you're sublimating on bright colors, you don't want little blue marks hanging around in the background. I'm a measurer. What they say, measure once? No. Measure twice, cut once. I think that's the saying. Anywho, 2 rulers. Usually because I can't find one, and that's how I probably ended up buying this one. This is just a standard ruler, but I do that because I want to make sure that my images are centered and even on my shirts or my pillows or whatever I'm pressing. So these are important. I also have a fabric tape measure. I wasn't able to lay eyes on it before I started filming this video, but I use that sometimes in order to measure my tumblers and my coffee mugs, because I want to make sure that those measurements are right when I am doing my work there. So definitely tape measures and ruler, I think, are standard craft items. Eventually you are going to get to sublimation. It's just inevitable. You will not spend your whole craft life with vinyl, and when you do, you are going to need heat transfer tape. I have purchased those heat transfer tape dispensers where you're supposed to be able to just, grab it and go. It never worked for me. This is just an old school tape dispenser that I had. It fits on here and it works just fine. And I am able to tape everything that I need to tape. If you've been on my channel before, you saw my videos, you know that this thing worked just fine. I don't have to go out and get those fancy dispensers. That one will do just fine. Eventually, if you are going to do rhinestoning, you are going to need a scrub brush. I'm so excited about this one, y'all, because usually I would use the smaller one that I got off of Amazon, but in the last video that I did with the Please rhinestone shirt, I told y'all I had ordered it and it showed up, and I cannot wait to make a rhinestone shirt and use my new scrubber. So for now, those are kind of like basic items that you're going to need to have in your life. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen the first sets of videos in this beginners back to basics series, I hope you will check them out. I cover the pros and cons of each of the generations of Cricut cutting machines. I definitely share with you heat press options, and I share a little funny personal story about how I got my first heat press for absolute no cost. And then we also talked about the types of vinyl, because there's so many out there, and just depending on the projects that you want to work on, I wanted to make sure that you knew the different varieties of vinyls and the kinds that are out there, as well as where you could get these things from. And now we've talked about some of our basic tools. I think it is time for us to move into making our first 5 projects on Cricut. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please go back and watch the other videos in this series, and make sure you turn on notifications so that when I drop our video for our first 5 projects that you can make with your Cricut that are super beginner friendly but also super sellable, you will get notified. I think I'm going to drop them as a live premiere. That way I can be down in the chat to potentially answer any questions that folks have. And until my next video, take care of yourself, continue to enjoy crafting. It's a whole lot of fun crafting, but it's so much better when you make a little coin from it. Until next time, I'm DJ, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody. Money makers, I hope you all are enjoying this series. Check out my latest upload, and don't forget to check out the other videos in this series. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it with another crafter. Until the next time, go be great.